Is actually my first show up. I'm going to be doing reviews of metal records. I'm going to hold them upside down occasionally, and then flip them over for you. So look, I'm an older guy, mid 40s. I absolutely have loved metal since I was a little kid. Really listened to a lot of late 90s, early 2000s hardcore and metalcore. Still listen to some of the modern stuff, especially in the hardcore, not as much with the metalcore stuff. I moved on to a lot of doom and black metal and all sorts of shit, but I've got a fairly expansive record collection with a lot of different genres of metal, and I'm certainly not the deepest in terms of actual knowledge about each of the bands, the band members, other projects, but I have broken pretty deep into the surface on a lot of the genres over the years. I have a tendency to dive into a genre and then go really deep into it, and then kind of move on and take a bunch of the bangers from that genre with me, and then maybe leave some of the fluff that was good at the time behind. But anyway, that's just a little bit of intro. So this is one of my favorite metalcore records of all time. I'm really a big fan of these guys and Archangel, specifically this record from them. Ranks right up there. Archangel, Hope You Die by Overdose, and Dead Man Walking are interchangeable for me for top twos, and this one is right behind as a third. So this, I'm just going to show you a little bit of the sexiness of this bad boy, but a little gray smoke vinyl. Anyway, this was reissued on 2019, in 2019, on, this is short-term memory problems here, on Backbite Records. It came out originally on CD on Century Media, and I spun that thing to death. So what I love about this record, I mean, it's vegan, straight edge metalcore from, like I said, this one's from the mid 2000s, but they got their start, I believe, in the late 90s. So I think you can kind of, if you're familiar with the genre, you can kind of figure out what you might be in for. But this is really just a standout record in the genre. So look, I'm not vegan, I'm not straight edge, I never was, but those bands always actually commanded my attention because they were singing about something important to them, and more often than not, it came across as genuine, and with a lot of conviction and integrity, and that's how I felt about this record. So I mean, the first lyrics on the record are, "This is the first bloody axe in your face." So they're coming right out. They're talking about taking animals out of cages and putting people in cages, but really the musicianship on this is really a little bit. I'd say it's outstanding for what you'd expect from a metalcore band, and I don't mean that as any insult to the genre, especially the older bands that kind of helped forge it. But they got three instrumentals that are simply gorgeous, just kind of interludes throughout. And I honestly, about 15 years ago, I was like, just get to the metal. But now I really enjoy that shit. My patience level has changed. You listen to 12-minute post-metal songs and 20-minute doom songs, and God forbid you get into Dope Smoker. Suddenly your patience just has no choice but to change. Either you like the stuff or you don't. So they kind of seamlessly, after every couple of songs, they give you a little bit of a breather. But really, one of the things that shows their versatility is they got a couple of guests on, and actually both of those tracks, I didn't even realize I had to go through last night to make sure I had the track names right, because I'm horrible with that. Between digital, CD, and a record, I just throw it out. I never see exactly what the names of the songs are. But they're back to back. And there is something you will never erase is my favorite song, and that actually has Roger Moret from Agnostic Front guest in there, very short, but it's enough to make that song stand out. But before that is Annular Eclipse, and they've got some power metal, dude. I think it's from Line of Fire. I'm going by memory. It was a long time ago since I kind of looked at that. But anyway, I mean, this guy belts out a really, really high pitch, and the music changes in the middle of the song to accommodate for that seamlessly, and then seamlessly blends back into some heavy shit. And these guys just, that first track, though, has, I think, probably my favorite breakdown on the record. So you're getting all of that. You're getting the metalcore goodness with what I would consider some expert musicianship. I'll be honest with you, I kind of was falling away from the genre a couple of years after this came out, so I didn't keep up with them much in terms of their other releases. But pulling this one on vinyl just a week or two ago, and finally, getting it in the United States really got me checking out their back catalog. So, unfortunately, some of those records are hard to find, especially in the United States. But that's kind of what makes that's kind of what makes the search fun. So, hey, if you don't watch my videos, that's okay. But you should follow me because I'm gonna share some bands, hopefully some bands that you've never heard. I'll put a link in the description, so even if you don't watch the video, but you see an album that you might like, you can check that out. And if you're thinking, hey, why should I watch you? What makes you different? Well, nothing makes me different, and you probably shouldn't watch me. I've got a face made for TV, I've got a face made for radio, and a voice made for the hard of hearing. So if you're kind of blind and kind of deaf, this might be the channel for you. But anyway, this is my first one. Hopefully I can improve on the format. I don't know how the video quality is going to be. I do have a solid camera. And maybe I'll make it a little bit more dynamic, figure out how to splice some of the music in. But I'm going to try to keep them short and sweet. Just tell you a little bit about the record. I kind of do something similar on Instagram, where I'm washing the record and talking a little bit about it. But I thought this would be a nice subsequent step where after I watch a record and then listen to it, because some of them I hadn't spun in a while, then I give a really fresh impression on it. So anyway, I'm a metal guy. I hope you like it. Thank you. I'm going to keep the comments off, by the way, because I don't trust you people.